Hello everyone, welcome back to Maverick Mods. This time, episode 1 of what I'm going to call Maverick Mansions. I know I've kind of hinted at and mentioned over the last couple of months that Mrs. Maverick and myself have been looking for a new house, hopefully our forever home. Well, we found it. I'll give you a tour here in a minute, but just the basics. It's old, it's not really, well, it could have been a farmhouse, could have been a manor, something along those lines. Near as we can tell, built in 1867. It's about 2,700 square feet. At one point in time, it was used as the county courthouse in the county that we're in. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. Comes on 3 acres, which was a necessity for me moving the shop up here, because that's got to have that. Absolutely no way am I going to stop working on the cars. That is going to have to, I'll kind of divide my time between the house and the cars. So that's kind of where we're at on this. That's why I kind of wanted to introduce you to the house, because I figured I like old stuff. I like fixing up old stuff. Seem to be doing an okay job doing it with the cars. Why not try it with a house? We'll see how it goes. So grab your popcorn. Let's go take a tour. Let's get started. First look, there's the road coming in. Here's the beginning of the driveway. It's not my first look, but it's you guys' first look. So coming up the driveway, looks like we have some old tractor wheels. Desperately in need of a trip through the sandblaster, but they're going to get cleaned up. Looking nice. Not so sure about the light up there. I don't even know if it's wired. Gonna have to investigate that. Coming up the driveway, our rock wall here, we've got a little history on the house, and somewhere along here, one of the part of the driveway used to actually be a road that was used in the Civil War. That's according to a local historian. I haven't quite figured out which one yet. He says once you see it, it makes sense, but I'm not sure. It might be this one, not sure. So over here, we'll get to the house here in a minute. We've got a, that's got to be a 70, 80 plus foot tall walnut tree. A lot of growth. A lot of it needs to be cut back. We got 3 acres. A lot of it needs to be cleared. I swore when I was looking for land, I didn't want to be a groundskeeper. Now that's kind of out the window now. This is one of the cool things. We'll get to the house here in a minute. This is one of the cool things. This is the original well. Of course, it's been capped off, but it's got the original hand crank. Maybe the bucket's still here for all I know. And I'm gonna refurbish all of this, get this looking like it would be brand new. Let's go take a look at the house. It's the front yard, a little overgrown. All right, so here's the house right there. This, near as we can tell, we think it was built in 1867. We've got a record of the deeds. It might have been built before then. Nobody's really sure, but it's a 2,700 square foot colonial style. We'll take a look at the inside here in a minute. The thing is solid as a rock, absolutely solid as a rock. Still, it's not in great shape, but it's not in bad shape. It's got a lot of it's cosmetic. Stone foundations. Again, we've got railings up here that are desperately going to need a trip through the sandblaster. We wound up inheriting a couple of yard cats. and a couple is an understatement. It's got cedar siding that just needs a little refreshing. There's some architectural styling here that I haven't got the faintest idea what it is. Up here, we got chimneys on, oh, can you see them? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we got chimneys both sides. All the fireplaces have been deactivated. But this side has got actually a fireplace in the basement. It's got one on the first floor. It's got one on the second floor. And the other side, I believe, is, well, there's a wood burning stove on the main floor. Coming around the side, let's go out. Let's just kind of walk the grounds a little bit. Come out this way. Got a new power line, new pole, new transformer, 200 amp service, all new into the house. This, I'm sure this isn't original to the 1800s, but it's original to way, way, way back. Can't see much inside, just a bunch of junk, essentially. But that is the inside of an old barn. There's just all kinds of, going to take a lot of cleanup on this. Up there is some of the old interior slats, or the shiplap, whatever you want to call it, from the original build of the house. It's been updated since then. We think back in the 50s, so the interior is mostly plasterboard. So the property line starts just the other side of that shed, or barn, whatever you want to call it. Lots of trees. Vinyl siding on the rest of the house. Roof's in great shape. Been up in the attic. The house is dry as a bone. We've got a, I guess you could call it a gully down here. This is kind of the headwaters for a lake that's about 2 miles down the road. We are at the high ground. So a lot of cleanup. But the property line kind of just goes right along this this little gully right here. There's one of the yard cats. The other one's up on the patio, or on the porch. Wave to Mrs. Maverick. We've got a couple of really, really decrepit sheds back here. And a lot of cleanup in there. Actually, I have a sneaking suspicion that's a teardown. Another one here. This is, strangely enough, kind of empty, but I wonder about the usefulness of that one. These two, pretty close to, probably going to wind up replacing these. Old oil tank. It has a furnace in it. We'll look at that when we look at the basement, but that's going to go metal recycling there. Let's see. I scared the kittens off. We have kittens. Came with the house. Basement has a full walk down access. This little side room is an addition. The steps are gone, I should say. Going to have to build some steps here. Again, back of the property kind of follows the gully, kind of going back that way. And hey, there's a hiding kitten down there. So I'm going to be doing a lot of cleanup inside of here. Back side of the house. This room right here is the dining room. That's the one of the upstairs bedroom. It is a 4-bedroom house, although we're not going to utilize all 4 beds. Probably have a couple of really cool just rooms for us. This is the back of the kitchen. Again, the steps were gone. I'm going to wind up building a deck back here that kind of goes from about right to the trees there, bring it along here as far out as I can, just because lots of junk. Going to be doing a lot of cleanup. You're going to hear me say a lot of that. Believe it or not, that's actually steps. You just can't see it because of all the leaves. And we're back to the well. So that's kind of a walk around to the house. Comes with a, it's actually, well, it's kind of a 2-car garage. It's sized for a 2-car garage. It only has one door. You see the Studebaker, we brought that up just to get it out of the shop. And the property goes quite a ways out that way and kind of comes back behind the garage and back down there. And it's kind of triangular. It's sort of a big triangle. 3 acres total. It's got a relatively new well. Septic is in good shape. New electric. So utility wise, we're in pretty good shape. Down this way, if I can find my way, I haven't been all the way back yet. I'm hoping there's no snakes back here because I don't have my boots on. I think I'm only going to go about this far. So we continue back quite a ways back there. The shop is essentially going to go pretty much right where I'm standing. So we'll have to dig a little bit, extend the driveway down here. The shop, probably somewhere right about here is where it's going to start, and then it'll continue back along this way. I'm going to be really busy with a chainsaw, stump grinder, do a lot of brush hogging to kind of clear as much of this out and just thin it out. That's the one thing sorely lacking on the property is it's just the previous owners really neglected it for quite a few years. The previous owner that we bought from started and life got in the way. So we're taking over. So let's take a look at the inside next. So let's go inside. Foundations and front porch, solid as a rock. This is poured concrete, really, really thick. Previous owners were nice enough to have a little pet house there that probably came from Amazon, I'm guessing. But it looks exactly like the house. Exactly. Absolutely. That's pretty cool. These lights work. Front screen doors need a little cosmetic work, but otherwise they fit, they open and close. It needs new screens for sure. It needs paint for certain. Shingles on this side, pretty dry, but I think I can bring them back. Inside the house is a little bit dark, so bear with me. So we're walking inside. Front doors, it's double front doors. They're actually the old styly narrow doors. I got a window busted out on this one. Other than that, just gonna need a little bit of TLC, and these things will look nice. Same thing on that side. That's the door over on this side. I don't have a light for the front entrance. My apologies, but it's kind of hard to tell. This is original wainscoting. That is really cool. Not all of the house has that. Some of it has just siding for it, or not siding, paneling for it. But I'm going to see if I can't, in some of those old barns, maybe some of that still is there. All right, so if we go to the right here, this was a bedroom. This is all of our crap that we brought up this time, so my apologies for that. We've got peeling wallpaper, no big deal. That's going to come down, and we'll probably paint. Behind that big pile of stuff is first floor fireplace. It has been blocked off. We've got a big closet back here. Yep, inside this house we think was originally remodeled from the original in the 40s, maybe the early 50s. And a lot of the house really shrieks of period of that time. Original wood floors, solid. Just needs a little bit of TLC to bring them right back. One of the really cool things, let me back up here. The door is shut. Well, that was actually sticking at the latch. So the door is closed. The house is square. That is, again, one of the selling points for me. Downstairs bathroom, we actually have two. First thing I did, let me back up here a little bit. It came with these shower doors. These are glass, and I don't know if they're the updated glass that is tempered or if it's the original. And so that's why they're sitting right here. I don't trust them. I don't like these things. And if they're the original style glass, they're really dangerous. I have a good friend of mine growing up almost died by falling into one of those, and it shattered on him, and it was a mess. So those are gone. We've got just a temporary shower solution set up here. Bathroom reeks of the 1950s. So we'll be doing a little updating down here, but everything's functional. It's coming back out. Behind the staircase is, and I can't have a light back here, we will access the basement here shortly. But continuing on from the front entrance, you go into what is, we're assuming, the dining room. This is the most complete room in the house. Well, it's not the most complete room, but it's pretty much all there. And this room is going to take very little work to bring up to a really good standard. Let's come down. And it's got nice mantle shelves all around it. This is part of the chimney for the original stove. Would have been a potbelly, not a potbelly, would a wood burning cast iron stove, which we have. Lots of windows in here. They're not double pane, but they are double windowed. So at least we're not, in terrible shape as far as thermal efficiency there. They're not very efficient, but coming through here, this is the laundry room. And it's in definite need of some repairs. Everything in here is just going to get basically taken down to the studs and redone. And this is one of the doors I've got to build steps for down there. Got to do that ASAP. All right, let's go into kitchen. Again, apologies for the lights. I don't have a whole lot of light yet. All right, let's start again. So the kitchen was the one room that was in the middle of a remodel when we bought the place. So, ceiling tiles are down. There's some repairs going on over there. We'll look at that in a minute. I haven't found the drawers and doors for the cabinets yet, but I want to try and find those because I want to keep as much of this as I can. They got to be around here somewhere. We've been finding bits and pieces of a little bit of everything, but this is going to take a little bit of rebuilding. I think I can bring this back. A few little areas are out. Countertop definitely is going to be replaced. Don't know if I'll go granite or not. It may or may not be in the budget. We'll see. We do have electricity for stove. And otherwise, That's where the original wood burning cooking stove went. And this right here, I've got to dig up in there and find out what's going on here. I know it's kind of a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to dig up here and see what's going on there. Fix that up. I have to retile the ceiling. Of course, the floor definitely comes right back up. It's coarse hardwood underneath. I'll do some kind of a tile. We just haven't figured out what yet. So we come back up into, I guess, what would be the den. Now, if I can find a light switch, bear with me. I'm sure there's a light switch around here somewhere. With a little better lighting, let's take a look here. Not a fan of the wood paneling. Wood paneling is going to go. There's plasterboard behind it. We'll figure something out. This one has no wainscoting, and like I said, I'm looking for either the original or can I can I find something that matches the original? But anyway, disregard the foam. We didn't do that. Wood burning stove, these things really, really work. I mean, this will heat the house like nobody's business. It's got lots of windows. Doesn't let in as much light as we thought. Now, it just has to do with the orientation of the house. Again, hardwood floors. These are in not as great a shape. They will take a little bit to bring them back, but I can bring these back. Furniture left by the previous owners, rug left by the previous owners. We'll be taking care of that here pretty quick. So that's the downstairs. We are back to the main entrance. And next up, upstairs. Let's take a look. Heading upstairs, obviously wallpaper is gone on the side here. We will have to do that. The handrail, I think, is original. Stairs, rock solid, no creaks. Carpet, obviously, is not original, but it's kind of nice. So let's make a left turn here into what I have labeled the bouncy bedroom. This is the only structural issue, and it's not really a structural issue. Center of the floor in this room, it sags and it's a little bouncy. It's not bad. It just needs some reinforcement. I'm going to put some beams on the roof, the ceiling of the floor underneath to kind of re-level this, bring it back up, and give it some support. Other than that, this bedroom originally had cedar lined closets. Somebody did not do them justice, so we're going to have to come back in and kind of redo that. That is just varnish over particle board. Not real pleased about that. Okay, let's go center bedroom. We're actually using this one right now. This is the one that's in the best shape. Not really going to go in there because that's our stuff in there. This one's in really good shape. Upstairs bathroom, non-functional. I don't know if bad bulbs or the electricity up here is not hooked up. The lights don't work. Got no water. So I'm going to be working on bringing this bathroom back to life. Eventually probably wind up expanding it, making it a little bit bigger. So they left us the little Christmas elf. Nice of them. And the third upstairs bedroom, carpet is going away immediately. This one, previous owners did start taking the wallpaper down, so they were working on this. This is the only open fireplace in the house. Probably not functional. We're going to get a chimney guy out here to take a look. Have no idea what we're going to do with this room yet. So that's the back side of the bathroom. If I do expand this, I can't go very far unless I move a window or if I move a door. So not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. You can see through the windows a view of the front yard, front grounds. Nice views everywhere. And out of the back, we've got a lot of overgrowth right now. A lot of this needs to be cut back, but Still pretty nice. Very nice and green. So that's the upstairs. Next, let's take a look at the basement. Oddly enough, the original description of the house never mentioned it even had a basement. I mean, when I looked at the pictures, I thought, well, maybe it's just got crawl spaces. But no, we discovered this. So pardon that little light right there. Let's go downstairs. Solid down here. Or at least the steps are solid down here. There's another light switch there. Okay, so let's go this direction. We've got rock walls for the entire foundation. Unfinished floor on this side probably will be, well, there's gonna be some concrete pouring at some point in the future. A lot of junk down here, a lot of junk. The really cool part is it's dry as a bone down here, and it's been raining like crazy here. That was a big selling point for me. Good solid walls, or foundations I should say, and no moisture down here. We do have a new accumulator tank for the well, new water heater. There's the old one, going to be getting rid of that, obviously. Nice and solid. Now let's take a look at something here. Well, let's see. Let me get one that's kind of in a little bit better light. So, floor joists. These are rough sawn. There's just a little hint of, these are holes from powder post beetles or post powder beetles, whatever they are. That's the only thing, and it's old. The termite guy, he kind of scoffed and said, termites ain't gonna be able to touch this. This is, I believe it's a 10 by 10 solid beam, part of the floor. Part of the floor joist. I said, this was built not of old growth. This is just built of wood back when old growth wood was not even a phrase. So we're back to junk. Now we get over here and we get to concrete and finished walls. So somebody half finished the basement. Let's see, septic or sewer, I should say, is cast iron pipe. As long as that stays in decent shape, I am not messing with it. No need to. It has been partially plumbed with PEX. Refrigerator does not work. I checked. Let me flip a light on back here. There we go. So this refrigerator will have to disappear. I figure out how to get it out of the basement. Here's our access. We do have steps. It's not just an escape. Here's our new electrical service, 200 amp. I believe this was the original water heater. I say not original to the 1800s, but probably original to the 1950s, I think. We do have a fireplace down here, been blocked off as non-functional. Back there is another refrigerator, again, non-functional. Here's another selling point for me. Like I said, it has a furnace and it was oil fired, but all the ducting is there. The entire first floor is ducted. It needs to be insulated. I think I might be able to get a heat pump set up that will just replace this furnace. Air handler, unit outside. I think I could tie into this ducting. I've kind of got my hopes set on that. This old, probably 1940s refrigerator, it's an old Frigidaire. Believe it or not, it doesn't work. I mean, it's who knows when the last time it actually did work. And the inside of this thing is nasty. I mean, it's actually got actual handles. I can't even get enough light in here. They were storing paint in this thing. So, but you know what? I'm going to clean that up and do something with it. It's some kind of, who knows? I'm going to do something with that just because it's cool. So this is the basement. I mean, we're solid. I mean, it's almost forgot. This is the original wood cook stove. So this has some refurbishing in its future. I have not found the accessories for it. They may not exist, but I'll bet you I can find these at estate sales and auctions and things like that. This is going to go back up in the kitchen, if nothing else, just to sit there and look cool. So that's the house. Now let's talk a little bit about the plan. Well, say hello to Mama Cat. She's been busy taking care of her kittens, but she also left us a present, brought us a mouse, and that's a good thing. They keep the mice under control. And just so you guys know, for the last couple of days, I haven't been sitting on my butt. Really been concentrating on obviously doing a lot inside the house. Also a little bit on the grounds, as much as we could do with the limited equipment we brought with us this time. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get some more heavy duty stuff, but I did clean up the side of the main house a little bit. Biggie was getting this cleared out because that was, if you guys remember, picture of what it was before versus now. I've got to get access so I can get to and do what I need to do to build those steps. Same thing on the back of the house, just kind of mowed the grass back a little bit, and Biggie is get rid of that big clump of who knows what kind of weed that was back there. But of course I'm still gonna have to do, I've got some stump, I got a stump I got to dig out, actually 2, maybe 3. Got to dig those out and finish this up, but I had to clear this out in order to, again, this area right here is going to get a deck. I don't think it'll happen right away, but I did need to clear it out because I got to see what's underneath there and what's kind of back there. So other than that, while I was at it, big pile of leaves, I have to put that in the burn pile here pretty quick. And I did clean out the steps. So we can walk back here now without crunching on a bunch of leaves. So obviously tons and tons and tons of stuff yet to do. Let's see. My metal building guy came, looked the property over. He agrees with me. Putting the shop back there is going to be the best way to do it. We're coordinate that right now. So hopefully we get that done here pretty quick. The sooner I can get up here and kind of hit the ground running, better off we are. Well, that's going to do it for this week, guys. I know probably I'm going to split you guys into thirds. A third of you think I'm crazy, but probably that's the same third that thinks I'm crazy anyway. The other third are saying, yay, cool. And the other third of you guys are probably saying, man, you have no idea what you got yourself in for. You know what? You're all right. Every one of you. In thirds. So where are we at? We spent the last couple of days up here. Just kind of, this is more of a recon mission to see what we need moving forward. And I've got a pretty good idea. So I'm not going to detail and do videos of every single, repair and upgrade to the house. And you're not going to see the house too terribly often, just when I can kind of compile something and kind of, shorten it into a reasonable video. So you're not going to see a kitchen remodel, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not going to do that. But you might see a kitchen remodel start to finish. So we'll see how it goes on that. So next week, back in South Carolina, back on the Firebird. Going to try and get that buttoned up here over the next, hopefully, month or so. And we'll see how things go with that. Certainly appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you guys let me know in the comments what you think about me, kind of unveiling the house here. And if you want to see more of it, please like, share, subscribe, notify, blah, 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 blah. You guys know the drill. It actually does help. We'll see you next week. Everybody, have a great day.